After a long wait and a change in local distributorship, the new Geely Coolray Sport has now made it here in the Philippines. Now in this video, we will take a look at the updated 2025 Geely Coolray Sport to see if it will still exceed our expectations. Let's do this. The Geely Coolray can be credited as the Chinese subcompact crossover that successfully challenged the mainstream contenders when it entered the Philippines in 2019. It was a literal game changer, offering a value-for-money crossover that punched way above its weight. Then, it got old. Competition has since caught up, so all eyes are now on this new Geely Coolray Sport to see how it stacks up. You see, with an indicative price of 1,299,000 Philippine pesos, this top-spec Coolray Sport has a lot of company in the price category, so it begs the question, can it still provide the same wow factor that we got 5 years ago? But before we start, special thanks to our friends at Geely Marilao for the privilege of featuring the new Geely Coolray Sport. Here at Reagan's Rides, we do car reviews of SUVs, sports cars, trucks, and everything in between. So subscribe and hit the bell. Alright, so the design of the new Coolray Sport doesn't really deviate too much from the previous Coolray. However, we have some notable design changes found up front, like for example, these vent garnishes that can be found on the hood. Now, I said that these are vent garnishes because they're not really functional heat extractors, but they're just there to make the Coolray look cooler. Alright? Now, we also have an updated and more aggressive design for the front grille, which now integrates much better with the redesigned front bumper here. And we also have full matrix LED headlight units there, and because these are matrix LED headlight units, we no longer have a need for LED fog lights, so the Geely Coolray Sport doesn't get fog lights at all. Rather, when you go here to the side of the front bumper, you'll see that we have these really cool LED DRLs that are neatly incorporated there and goes so well with the side design of this front bumper, and it makes it look clean, sleek, and futuristic at the same time. Now, being a sporty subcompact crossover, the Coolray Sport still gets red finishes and trims found here on the front grille, as well as on the carbon fiber front diffuser that also gets this red strip. Now, the Coolray Sport for 2025 now gets a new color as well, which is called Purple Prism, which should appeal to the more feminine set of drivers out there. Now, the side profile really hasn't changed much from the previous generation Geely Coolray SE. We still get the same blacked out, two-tone floating roof design here, but if you check out the C-pillar, you'll notice that we have some interesting squiggly lines found here on the C-pillar, which gives this new Coolray a more futuristic design. When you go over to the side mirrors, we still have the same carbon fiber side mirror covers here. Of course, we have LED turn signals, and these are power folding side mirrors. Now, when you check out the wheels and tires, we have 18-inch blacked out Tomahawk-style alloy wheels here, and behind those wheels, we still get four-wheel disc brakes with sport calipers up front, although you can't really see them because this is still a newly delivered unit. Now, as for the suspension bits, the Coolray still rides on the same suspension as before. That means that we have a MacPherson front suspension and a torsion beam at the back. Now, I was kind of hoping that since this is the all-new Coolray, that Geely would have changed the rear suspension to a set of independent multi-links, but apparently that's not the case with this new Coolray. Now, since the suspension bits are the same, then you can expect that the ground clearance would still remain the same at 196 millimeters. Now, under the hood, we get a major upgrade here. You see, we no longer have the 3-cylinder turbocharged gasoline engine from before. Rather, we now have a smoother 1.5-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged gasoline engine that puts out 172 horsepower and 290 Newton-meters of torque. Now, the power can be sent to the front wheels via an updated 7-speed wet-type dual-clutch transmission. Now, friends, we may have lost around 5 horsepower from the previous 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, but we more than make up for it with higher maximum torque at 290 Newton meters, and we also have a smoother ride here because of the even 4 cylinders in this engine. However, though, I will reserve judgment for the actual performance of this new Geely Coolray Sport when I get the chance to drive this vehicle after it launches here in the Philippines. Alright, so the cabin of the new Geely Coolray Sport gets a bunch of major updates and changes here, with one of those changes being somewhat disappointing. Now, what remained the same though is the seats. You see, we still get these leather seats here in this two-tone sporty design. We have a red and gray color theme going on here, and we only get power adjustments for the driver's seat. Nothing for the front passenger, only manual adjustments. When you go over to the steering wheel here, it's nice and chunky. It's leather wrap, really nice to hold. But if you look behind the steering wheel, we lose the paddle shifters from before. Now, for a subcompact crossover that's being marketed as a sporty subcompact crossover, not getting paddle shifters is a big bummer for me. But thankfully though, we still have tilt and telescoping adjustments for the steering wheel, so at least we have that. But when you also go over to the LED screens here, you'll notice that this is another big change that they did to the new Coolray Sport. We now have a monolithic dual LED panel display here with a 10.25-inch instrument panel and a 12.3-inch touchscreen infotainment system that still comes with the image of a 360-degree view camera with transparent mode. Now, the Geely Coolray Sport is also the first Geely in the Philippines that will officially receive Apple CarPlay. Alright, that's been confirmed, but we still don't get Android Auto, so that's a little bit of a bummer as well for me, being an Android user. Now, as for the safety bits, as you're seeing on your screen, we do have a good amount of passive safety features here. Although I don't have confirmation if we're gonna get ADAS. I doubt that we'll get ADAS considering the price level of this Geely Coolray Sport. Now, when you go over to the center tunnel, you'll see here that we have an all-black switchgear for your climate control. That used to be a brushed aluminum finish. We have a leather wrap and stitch grab handle here, pretty good. But when you move over to the shifter, you'll see that it's a gorgeous shifter. It's a gorgeous design, but it's all finished in glossy piano black. So that means that this, my friends, being a high-touch area, will attract a lot of fingerprints, dust, and scratches in no time. Looks good when clean, but it's not gonna age well, pare. It's not gonna age well. Now, we have cup holders here as well, a bunch of other soft-touch materials in the cabin. Cabin looks a lot more premium now, sporty yet premium at the same time. So I love that. I love that they changed that. And of course, we still have the panoramic sunroof up top. Now, the rear end design of the new Geely Coolray Sport seems to have matured by a little bit and has gained some when it comes to its premium factor. Now, while we still have that really bodacious, sporty looking rear spoiler right here, we do have a more premium look for the actual rear. You see, we have the blacked out Geely badge right there and a blacked out Coolray badge, but you can find a nice and gorgeous center LED light strip right down in the middle. Now, this connects the two slimmer looking LED taillight units, which gives it really that, gives it more of a European look, in fact. Now, when you go over down to the rear bumper, well, we have a bunch of sporty bits and goodies here. Of course, we still have the quad exhaust pipes right there, and we have these red accents that can be found on the faux rear diffuser. Now, being the top-spec Coolray Sport trim, we have a power liftgate here, and once you pop that open, you get access to 330 liters of cargo capacity, which is the same as before. Now, that 330 liters means that we can accommodate a large piece of luggage, you can see, and we still have enough space for smaller items beside it. Now, if you're looking for the spare tire of the new Coolray Sport, it can still be found underneath the floorboard of your cargo area. We have a donut spare tire right there. The Geely Coolray may no longer be the only cool contender in the price category, but it is nice to know that it still has enough amenities and horsepower to fight its way through the subcompact crossover space. And with its smoother 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, it would be interesting to see if it still drives as well as the previous model. Hopefully, We get to find out really, really soon. Anyway, thanks for watching.